What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video for all my new riders out there that are trying to learn how to ride on the highway. This is going to be the video for you. Before we jump on the highway, the first thing that I want to talk about is building confidence for yourself before you jump on the highway. Do not jump on the highway as a new motorcyclist without building confidence. So I'm gonna take just the first few minutes of this video to just talk about building confidence and how to build confidence as a rider. The first key thing when it comes to building confidence as a rider, I say take the same route. If you go to the gym every day, take your motorcycle every day to the gym. Don't change routes, don't try anything different that you're not comfortable with. Just jump on your bike and go to the gym. Go back home, right? So if you go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, you know, maybe your gym is 10 minutes away, 5 minutes away. At least you're getting, you know, between 10 to 20 miles. Maybe if your gym is a little bit farther, do that until you're just comfortable on the bike, right? I'm assuming this video is definitely for those folks that probably jumped off of their, you know, their BRS course. You know, the funniest thing about the BRS course, it's a great course. I took it, absolutely amazing, but it does not prepare you to actually be on the road. It gets you the skills that you need to start practicing, but being on the road is a totally different type of riding. Aside from that, right? And we're talking about, you know, getting comfortable. Just ride the same route every day until you hit the point where you say, okay, I think I'm confident enough to take a different way home. So then go to the same place, take a different way home. Go take your same route and then take a different way home. Okay, let that truck merge in front of me. Okay, start making some different, start to take different routes. Once you start to do that, you're going to start being a little bit more comfortable. Now, you know, now in between that, you know, you're going to stop at the gas station. Maybe you need to go grab some water, grab a snack, and that's just going to get you comfortable with getting on and off the road. You know, those slow maneuverability situations and just getting accustomed to this. I remember my first time getting on the highway, I was just terrified. I was on my Triumph Bobber, had a backpack on, it was loosely hanging off my shoulders. I felt the wind for the first time against my body, and I was terrified. I was terrified of every car riding by me. You know, everybody's going fast behind me. I was riding extremely slow, so people were just trying to pass me, which honestly put me in a even more uncomfortable situation because everybody was trying to just pass me. And that's something you have to take into consideration. When you get on the highway, you want to go into highway speeds. So before because I can definitely go on a tangent on that, I want to just focus on getting on the highway, getting off the highway. So take a little time, right? Get on the highway, get off the highway, right? Situation like this, I wouldn't jump on a big interstate like this, right? I would stick to like a service road, or yeah, like a service road, or I think there's another name for them, but something that I can jump on and then just jump right off. So if you're a new rider in the situation that I'm in, I'm doing some head checks, just making sure, checking my mirror, and I'm trying to get up to speed. Now you're on the highway, right? And we're gonna get a little bit past the point of just getting on and getting off the highway. You're right, you did that a few times, now you're comfortable, now you're on the highway. So let's talk the most important thing for a motorcyclist that I'm not doing right now. And that's gonna be lane positioning. So if you see where I'm at right now, I am in the outer lane and I'm riding on the right side of the outer lane. This is extremely important because, one, being on the outer lane prevents someone from just merging into your lane because you're right there, right? When you're on the left side of the lane, you're basically saying, hey, I'm okay with you jumping in my lane. Whether it's another motorcyclist or it's a car and you don't want it to be a car, you're allowing people into your lane. Essentially you want to assert dominance in the lane. Now, I want to be in the outside of the lane because I'm away from the risks, okay? So I'm gonna jump in the middle lane just to show you something real quick, right? I'm gonna do my head check, look at this car behind me. So I'm in the outer part of this lane, right? So somebody's on the left side and they have to swerve because of an obstacle. Guess where they're gonna go? They're gonna come into the middle lane, right? If this person is on the right side, they're avoiding the obstacle, they're gonna swerve into the middle lane. Now, another thing that's a common occurrence is, hey, I'm riding in the left lane as a car. Oh crap, I'm about to miss my exit, and then boom, I cut across. And as a motorcyclist, if that's catching you off guard, you're at risk, right? So you want to be in the lane. You want to be in the farthest left lane if you're on the highway. If you can't help it, be in the farthest right lane. But the issue with the farthest right lane, because you might be thinking, oh, well, if it's the left lane, I guess the right lane is the same thing. No, well, you have that risk of oncoming traffic coming off the ramp. So if that car is coming off the ramp and you're just cruising, you're going to be out of luck. So keep that in mind, keep that in consideration if you're wanting to make that approach of being in the right lane. Now, we're in a unique situation here. We're about to approach traffic, right? So the thing about traffic, right? So we talked a little bit about lane positioning, and lane position is critical. It's critical because you're providing yourself the most visibility. I think I'm going to stay on this topic a little bit longer too, because I'll show you how important lane positioning is. So just look at, her mirror, look at that driver mirror. If I'm in the farthest right of the lane, that driver can see me better than if I'm in the far left of the lane, because I might be floating just outside of their range of their visibility. So I want to be close, I want to be close as possible, and I want to drive on this right side of the lane. So, but I will say this before I move off of lane positioning. Don't think you just need to stick to one lane position. Move around, move lanes. It's not about just staying stagnant. It's about moving and understanding the obstacles and the risk. Looking at cars, don't get target fixated. The thing I want to address is going to be your speed. It's going to be, if it's your first few times on the highway, you're going to be timid, and you are going to want to ride slow. Pause. But the issue with riding slow on your motorcycle is, and I was mentioning it earlier, is people are going to want to pass you, right? Especially if you're in the farthest left lane, it's the fastest lane on the highway. People are going to want to pass you. They're going to say, I am not waiting behind this slow motorcycle. I'm going to jump lanes. I'm going to pass this guy or gal. So keep that in mind, right? If you don't want that extra pressure of the cars, being on you, ride a little bit more quickly. If the speed limit is 70, you might want to be going 80. Be mindful of your speeds. I'm not promoting being dangerous or anything, but just be mindful of your speeds, because people will want to pass you. So the next bit of advice that I have would have to be keeping your distance, right? So you want to control your speeds. You don't want to be riding super fast. You don't want to be riding too slow, but at the same time, I don't want to be 1 second off of that car, right? Because if I have to brake in an emergency situation, guess what? I only have a second to brake, right? Where, I want to give myself the most time possible to brake. Be mindful of that. I can't remember the exact distance that they tell you in the BRS course. I might just throw it up on the screen or something. But what I will say is mind your distance, right? Because you want to have that space for braking. And also, having that space I think is good, because guess what? When people get in traffic like this, you know what they want to do? They want to change lanes. They want to get to the lane that's moving, right? So in the left lane traditionally is the lane that's moving. So, you know, if you give yourself that space, it gives people that space to cut in if they want. Now, what I would say is this traffic is a little different. This is a bit stop and go. This is like no capacity for me to kind of get out of the pack. Now, what I would say as another piece of advice is, as a motorcyclist, get out of the pack. So get out of the pack or separate yourself from the pack. And in some ways, you know, getting out of the pack might just be a little easier, right? So that might consist of you accelerating pretty quickly to get yourself out of a pack like this, because more cars, more risk. We talked about lane positioning. We talked about maintaining your speeds. We talked about how to maneuver while you're in traffic. We made it to the gas station. I'm gonna close out the video here, so pretty straightforward. I really hope y'all enjoyed the video. Again, just really focused in on, you know, how to begin that journey on the highway. Hope y'all find my tips and some of my advice useful. Likely I'll probably be doing a little bit more stuff on my Aprilia. I usually don't take the Ducati out much, and as I talked in one of my previous videos, I plan on getting something a little bit more tamed instead of this Ducati. So again, thanks for tuning in, and